In this video, you'll learn how to distribute rows and columns in tables in Google Docs so everything looks clean, even, and professional. We'll go step by step, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to tidy up any table with just a couple of clicks. Let's start with the basic idea. When you're working with tables in Google Docs, it's really common for rows and columns to end up different sizes. Maybe you typed more text in one cell than another, or you dragged a border to resize something manually. Over time, the table can start to look a bit uneven or messy. Distributing rows or columns is a quick formatting option that automatically makes them all the same height or width without you having to eyeball and adjust each one. First, open your Google Docs document and scroll to the table you want to adjust. You don't need to select the whole table if you don't want to. You can choose just a few rows or columns to even out. To begin, click and drag your mouse across the table to highlight the rows or columns you want to distribute. If you're focusing on rows, drag from the left side across the cells in the rows you want. If you're focusing on columns, drag from the top of the column down through the cells in the columns you want. You'll know they're selected when the cells are shaded in blue. Take a second here to make sure you've highlighted exactly what you want to change. For instance, if you only want the middle three columns to be evenly spaced, highlight just those three, not the entire table. This gives you precise control over how the table looks. Once your rows or columns are highlighted, move your mouse into the selected area and right-click. A context menu will appear with several options specifically for tables. In that menu, look for the option that says Distribute Rows or Distribute Columns, depending on what you're trying to adjust. If your goal is to make all the selected rows the same height, choose Distribute Rows. The moment you click this, Google Docs will automatically calculate the total height of the selected area and divide it evenly across all those rows. This is especially helpful if some rows are tall because they contain more text while others are short and look cramped. If you want to make all the selected columns the same width, choose Distribute Columns instead. As soon as you click that, Google Docs will resize the highlighted columns so they all match, creating a more balanced and readable table layout. This can make a big difference, especially in tables with numbers, headings, or side-by-side comparisons where alignment really matters. If you don't see the Distribute option right away, double-check that you actually clicked inside the table and that your rows or columns are still selected before right-clicking again. The option only appears when a table selection is active. You can repeat this process as many times as you like. For example, you might distribute columns first to get consistent widths and then distribute rows to make the heights even as well. It's a simple way to reset the structure of your table without losing any of your content. That's all there is to it. By highlighting the rows or columns you want and using the right-click distribute option, you can quickly clean up any table in Google Docs and give your document a much more polished look.